All right, you know what? If it's already going to be as hot as balls, why not have a little bit of ambiance, okay? Set the mood with a candle. Suffer with some sense. I've also never really got that, to be honest with you. Hot as balls? Why is it so toasty in a place where the proverbial sun doesn't shine? That's one to grow on. Oh, crap, the chair. Hold on. Don't throw it out. The intro's still going. I made it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan. Happy and hot as balls to be here with you guys again today. I wanted to show off the sweet new seat that we've got here, okay? And by new, of course, I do mean from the garbage, I believe. I don't actually know where my father found it, but he gave it to me, and I have yet to put it in and moving it 3 feet from where it was before. I've actually had it for about 5 weeks, okay? So just to set the bar that low and to show that I still haven't cleared it. But you know what? That's what this show is. Learning, growth, figuring it out. So anyways, guys, hey! How we doing? All right? It's a bit warm. I won't lie to you. This might be a bit of a shorter episode, not just because it's hot, but because the camera's burning up, the camera's on low battery, and it's late. There's just a lot of factors, okay? Time is a flat circle. Pizza's a flat circle. Therefore, pizza is time. So why wouldn't we have seconds? So anyways, guys, it's a bit warm. It's warmer than it should be. It's fine, like, living-wise, but with the lights, with the candle, which, you know what, that's user error for sure, but I'm going to stick with it. And just the amount of watts that I pulled doing this, you get so excited. I mean, it'll keep me warm in 0 degrees. We're talking 0 kelvins, no matter what. My energy keeps me fired up, but in the summertime, when it gets a bit toasty, it's miserable and it's bad. So we'll see how this goes. I actually bought an extra AC unit just for this reason and for the voiceover booth, just to sort of pump in some extra cool breezedness. And I bought it. It's all ready to pick up. I almost DoorDashed it, which would have been cool, you know. Like I would have to tip for sure, but how bad would you have to feel for somebody? It's like, yeah, you know, I got a double dash, okay? They want a double bacon cheeseburger, and then over here it's a 8,000 BTU air conditioner. Like that poor old lady, you know, just trying to, I'm doing a little side hustle, pick up an extra $20-$50 on the weekend, and now she's got to lug around an air conditioning unit. I actually didn't not order it through them just for her, but it was cheaper somewhere else. So now I'm the sucker as to go pick it up, which I didn't do. Because I opted to go play golf instead. And you know what? Yes, it would be nice to be cool. Yes, I got a good deal on it, but you can't put a price on a good round of golf. I mean, theoretically, it was about $30, give or take, with the amount of balls I shanked into the woods. It's a problem. It happens. But you know what? Good to be out with the family. Good to be out with the family. So, happy 4th, or happy 4th Observance Day to all those who celebrate. It is a bit of an interesting holiday, okay, to sort of take off the Friday. Sometimes you just declare your freedom on the weekend and there's nothing you can do about it. But we are a pretty celebratory heavy country. Eventually all of our holidays, they take over the week and they take over the month, and we will parade as we see fit, okay? It does seem a bit premature to be lighting off fireworks and waving banners. We won the war! We ain't won nothing yet, Jack. But they've been throwing fireworks out left and right, and it's a good time. It really is. But I will say, what I'm looking forward to most about July 4th right now is they're releasing a 30 for 30, which is a documentary ESPN does on just our most generational and legendary athletes, our talent, okay? And they're releasing a 30 for 30 on Joey Chestnut, the hot dog eating guy. So they're basically doing a huge documentary, and they're just so excited to go behind the scenes, man. Let's take us behind the scenes, Mr. Chestnut. How do you eat so many wieners, period, but in such a quick, inordinate amount of time? So there's like little snippets of him doing jaw training exercises, and it's wild. It just really shows how fat and gluttonous of our country we are, okay? And I feel like most Americans should be able to go toe-to-toe with a guy like this. The European mind cannot comprehend a Joey Chestnut, but that just goes to show, as fat as we are, this is the fattest guy we got. And you know what? It is something to marvel at. You have to celebrate greatness in every form that it comes in. And if that's a guy who eats hot dogs so fast and in such an amount that most people go, there goes, yes, yes, yeah. There's a lot of cheers and not necessarily boos, but ahs. And you know what? I think most people think about going on a diet on New Year's. I'm going to get my life around. I'm going to change who I am and become a healthier version of myself. But I really think a lot of it happens on July 5th. After people see these hot dog eating competitions and they see Joey Chestnut and they see just the amount of carnage that a human being is capable of on a caloric level, you have no choice to go, I don't know if I want to be a part of this anymore. It's tough. Sometimes you got to keep waving the flag, but just a little bit less. And you go, that's a hard watch. But then you're back to being proud of it. So it's all part of the culture, and it's my culture. So I'm proud of it. So I'm looking forward to this 30 for 30. Just who knows? Maybe the next Joey Chestnut will see that and he'll feel inspired and he'll take him down. Eventually, all Tom Brady's and Michael Jordan's and LeBron James and all the greats, they retire from the game. So let's just all appreciate Joey Chestnut while we have him, man. An athlete through and through. So I'm trying to get my sleep right currently for the parade. Got to be up. You got a lot of, it's not that anything you think you'd be able to sleep through. There's horns and fireworks and fire trucks and people are yelling and there's candy and there's hot dogs. But I've done it before and I'm trying to make sure I can just lock in, wake up and get after it. Okay. But my sleep is just never good. I am perpetually bad at sleeping at night, dude. I cannot sleep at night for the life of me, okay? Everyone else, by the time everyone's wound down from their day and they're hitting the hay, I haven't even found the hay, let alone gotten violent towards it. That's my new idiom and saying I guess I've come up with. I say so many dumb things, and eventually I walk into something, people go, that was very quick, that was interesting, that was funny, and those are the ones I sort of adopt. I imagine it's kind of how adopting children works. Like you just sort of try a few out, and people go, hey, I like your kid, and you go, I'm sticking with you. So that's kind of how I work with sayings and mantras and the like. So that's what I'm working with, hitting the hay. But anyways, I can't sleep, dude. I can't doze off, quite honestly, unless I'm on the job or behind the wheel. Those are the only times that I notice myself like truly getting sleepy and tired. I want to be, okay? I can go back to bed easily. Like I wake up and I can go, oh, there's the day, bye, and I can knock out. In fact, sometimes that's a bit of a problem. I'll wake up and I'll try to stay up and I can't. So it's two completely opposite sides of the spectrum. I saw a different like little tip. He's like, how you should start your day. Force yourself to get up and as soon as you open your eyes, grab your pillow and throw it across the room. And I did that. And then I got up, grabbed my pillow and went back to bed. And then forgot about it. And I was like, was I supposed to wake up? And I just, you know what? I keep going through the motions and trying all the different things. And it turns out if you can sleep through a parade, you could even sleep without a pillow. If, like, my whole bed sheets, everything, I could just throw it across the room and I'll just wake up. Huh? What happened? And I'm fine, dozing off. But I think the problem is that I'm good at sleeping only if I have something to do. I can only sleep if I'm running from something, okay? Like if I need to be starting the day, I can sleep away from that. If I need to be at work, if I need to be driving, if I need to be doing something productive, then I can sleep. But at nighttime, when I've got nothing to do, when sleep is not more exciting than being responsible or productive or proactive, I can't do it. Because I can think of so many more fun things to do. But when the choice is, being an adult versus sleep, then I'm able to knock right out. So I think maybe at nighttime I'll just start like scheduling productive things, alarms. Hey, it's time to clean up. Hey, I've got a Zoom call. I'm scheduling business meetings and, just trying to get a lot of startups and have people counting on me. And I go, wow, that's crazy. What if I just missed it? And maybe I'll be able to start falling asleep. So really trying to work myself around that and figure out just what's going on with me and my brain. I've been having a lot of weird dreams lately, dude, and I've been off the melatonin, so I don't know what the kicker is with that quite yet, but I had the weirdest dream a couple nights ago where I was playing piano and I was like in this music room, and I had a daughter, and we were singing and playing some songs, and I woke up and I was bummed out. I was bummed out that I don't have the talent to play the piano like that, and I was just really thrilled. No, on the familial sense, it was very sweet, but I was also just like spooked that I felt comforted in that sense, because I'm not ready to be married or have a kid. I don't have any kids that I know of. Yeah, I think that joke is way better when a lady says that, for obvious reasons, but still silly. But anyways, I don't know. Well, we're having some weird dreams. There's plenty more, but I could sit here and, for an hour, and I could just tell you all my stupid, wildest. I had another one where it was about, I had an idea for the coolest. It was a way that you sliced pizza. Okay, and I think in my dream it was called the Pizza Angel. I basically had went to some sort of Shark Tank, and I created like an Iron Man suit that was made of a pizza slicer. And the only way you could do it was if you laid on the couch and just sort of melted into it. And you had to lay this giant, large piece on your chest, and you would raise your arms up, and the knives and blades, they would come out like wings, like a flying, those wingsuits when people, they go spelunking or whatever they call it down the freaking mountains, you're skydiving. And you would just like cross your arms, and it would slice the pizza so perfectly. And I woke up longing for that, quite honestly, even more than the wife, the child, or the piano talent. I went, wow, what I would do for some perfectly sliced pie right about now. So we got to get on that. There's lots of good ideas, and you just got to get into the think tank and see what happens. But anyways, trying to get my sleep schedule right. I'm trying to get a lot of good routines and keep the foundation. Okay, I mentioned this on the last episode, building a sort of foundation, and staying with that. The heat is kind of, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's messing with that. It's been tough. Okay, we've been going through a bit of a heat wave, as it were, not just here but everybody, and it's been bad enough that I've been out in shorts, dude. Okay, and if you know me, I'm not often out in shorts. All right, I'm a pants guy through and through. I think shorts are for the day, but pants are to stay out. Like when you're going to go out and stay out, then you got pants on. And I'm classy to the bone. Sue me. I love a pair of jeans. It's just nice. It's fun. It looks good. You look good, feel good, play good, eat hot dogs quick in jeans, okay? And I've always been this way. I remember it must have been a hot day, but as a kid, I did and still do think jeans are awesome. And my dad going, why are you wearing pants? Okay, like, and he was like trying to be comforting, and I applaud him, like trying to reach into any sort of inner insecurities. Like, is there something bothering you? Are you worried about your legs? Are you embarrassed by anything? And I wore jeans and pants that often, I suppose, that he was trying to make sure that I was okay. And I was like, no, not at all. I love my legs. In fact, dude, my legs are quite honestly some of my best attributes, and I've got a lot of good attributes. But I just enjoy some pants. But look, don't get me wrong. When it's time to flaunt the calves, everything like ankle to patella, just a showstopper through and through, okay? And quite honestly, people should be lucky that I'm not wearing shorts as often as I do, okay? Because I'm not saying there's a lot of cannibals out there, but the meat on the bone, it speaks for itself, okay? And if we were in the apocalypse and I'm trying to, travel with my crew up the Spiral Mountains and out these villages, and we had to settle camp for the night, if I was in shorts and I woke up to somebody gnawing on the shins of my legs, I'd wake up a little surprised, but I'd also, hey, I get it, okay? Because there's just something to say about a good pair of legs. All that to say, it's been a little bit warm out, and, I'm just trying to stick with some good foundational, okay, waking up right, eating right, take care of yourself, doing what you can. But it is toasty. It's pretty obtuse, okay? And by that I do mean more than 90 degrees. It's a geometry joke. They're coming back. But it's been so warm, man. So I go out on these walks in the morning, and there is nobody out there. And I love to fiddle and walk into strange people and conversations for my own amusement, whether they get brought up here or not, but I just cannot find anybody for the life of me. It's hot out when even the homeless people go, I'll figure it out, and they go somewhere else. Okay, we got plenty of shade, there's water, but they found a place to get to. And to be honest with you, this is normally a pretty homeless full full of homeless area, partly due to my fault, okay, because I'm out there, like, I'm engaging, I'm part of the community, I'm throwing them some coin. Not to mention my DoorDash orders that you can steal night after night after night. It's basically a watering hole anywhere I'm at, okay? Just stay by my door. There's food, there's money, there's conversation. It's a good place to be. If you're going to be homeless, I would do it in my driveway. No! My camera died. All right, we have opted for camera 2 because camera 1 overheated. If the settings look a little bit different, that's because they are. I had to blow the candle out just to try and reserve any little bit of temperature that we could, taking some accountability, user error. But anyways, what was I talking about? Yes, the homeless dude. If you want to be homeless, come do it nearby. I'm routinely dropping 20 bombs on folks. I take care of my peeps. It is getting a little bit egregious, okay? There's been some homeless inflation. I told you about the story somewhat recently where a guy came up to me and he asked for a 45 spot, okay, for dinner. And he's like, I've just been down on my luck. Could I get $45 for dinner? Now, that's already a lot of money. And you go, whoa, are you kidding me? But then I look down and he's rocking Jordans and he's in jeans, which we know I already believe is very classy. And he's got a nice fade. He's got jewelry on. He looks light years better than me. I'm in sweatpants with barbecue sauce on my shirt. And my first response should have just been, what makes you think I'm better off than you? That I've got $45 just to give out. And he's like pulling out his phone. He's like, I mean, you could just Venmo me if you don't have the cash. Like, hey, no way, dude. All right, I can do a 20 now and then, but when you expect it or you don't appreciate it, I know you shouldn't do good deeds for the thank you, but when you're coming up like an ATM, I can't do it. I don't know if this guy was really down on his luck, to be honest with you, but I had a similar moment, not $45, but the guy was just asking for $1, and I'll do $1, but I didn't have $1, and he kept coming up to me every single time I saw him day after day. Could I get $1? Could I get $1? Could I get $1? And I kept saying, no. But also, sorry. So eventually, I had $5 in my pocket, and I thought I was going to make his day. Not that $5 is the most in the world, but this is a 500% pay bump on what he was asking for. Okay, so I just thought I was exceeding expectations, and I gave him the $5, and I said, "Don't spend it all in one place." No, I said, "Here you go, sir. Like, just have a great day." And he went, "Mm-hmm," and I got nothing. I didn't get a thank you, no appreciation, no wow, this is so much more than I thought. And it's making it hard, okay, to take care of my peeps, because if I'm going to take care of my home as a good father to my people, I would appreciate it if my children, adopted or not, just said thank you. Anyways, it's tricky. But yeah, we do need to be pretty quick. I guess this will be exceptionally shorter until I figure out all these settings or eventually put in that little AC unit to keep the camera cool over there. But yeah, I've been trying to do better with everything, man. I mean, the eating, there's ups and downs. All right, what am I, an Avenger? I don't lock in every single day. I just went to a food truck festival, had a bunch of food, went to the movies, had more food, came back and ate even more. Okay, and let me tell you, have you ever felt so fat that you were? That's where I was. If it looks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it might be a fat guy. And that's where I was, man. There wasn't a lot of deciphering needed. I just realized the clues were there. I was heavy, knees were hurting, gut was boom, boom, boom. And I was where I was. So it's a thing. Man, I wish I had more time. I have so many more things to talk about. Okay. Now I'm in shorts right now, and I would love to just show off my calves just to close to give you guys something. But I know some of you are sycophants. All right. I've got enough messages and enough, debaucherous type of interactions to ward that off. But if you really think about it, okay, the best part of Christmas, even Alexis looks better with a bow on it. So I'm going to keep my shins and calves and knees wrapped up in a jean, because that's the magic of Christmas. That's the best present of all. All right, use your imagination, or don't. This is already getting gross. I wish my editor would remember to take that out, and I know he's not. I know he's just going to put all these clips together and he's just going to send it right to the station. But anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I love you to itty bitty pieces. Hope you're staying cool. Hope you're hanging out and observing the 4th of July as you see it. All right, I got to go before this camera burns out because we don't have a third one.